Hello, and thanks so much for continuing to watch Focus Atlanta. We're going to close out the show talking about Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm here with Catherine. Thanks for coming on the show. You know, I think that, or I feel like, let me say that, on the outside looking in, we're doing a little bit better about maintaining good mental health. You know, what changes are we making, or could we be making, to have better mental health?
So we are definitely headed in the right direction from history. I'll tell you that, especially when it comes to minorities, and that's pretty much all minorities, like Black community or any brown skin type of ethnicity. There is a major history of kind of ignoring the idea of mental health, not really paying too much attention about what's going on emotionally, being vulnerable, especially, the lack of those lessons being taught in the family. That definitely set us back a whole lot. But now, as generations come moving forward, more awareness is happening. There's actually more minority therapists that are in the mental health environment in the community now. So we're definitely making some really good progress and some really good headway.
You know, that's good news, because I think that, I mean, you mentioned family, and absolutely, I think that that has a huge component, but also general stigma. There's always been that kind of this stigma in the United States around mental health and mental health care. I feel like we're kind of chopping down at it a little bit. What do you say?
Yeah, we definitely are. It was a very much of a stigma about how mental health, such as depression, anxiety, and any other diagnoses, were looked at as a weakness, right? So it was more so like, just kind of tough it up, get it together. You don't have to talk to anybody. You're weak if you do that. When now it is more of that's not a weakness. That is more of us paying attention to our body, paying attention to our behaviors, paying attention to how we present ourselves to the world and what that means. And it's very important now that, words are being used to kind of identify and describe certain behaviors and how they match with what's going on internally. It's very important.
Oh my goodness, you said something so, like, it clicked in my head as soon as you said it. Can we talk a little bit about how faith and mental health can still go hand in hand? You know, so many times in minority communities, you just want to pray it away, which is fantastic. Like, I don't want to say that faith, you don't need faith, but you can have faith and get help too. You can have faith and
Yes.
have a great therapist. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and when it comes to religion, everybody has their own interpersonal beliefs when it comes to religion and faith and who they pray to and things like that. Me personally, I am a Christian, so I do pray as well. So just the idea of having some type of religion in the middle of what you have going on is important. However, when it comes to those type of beliefs, like faith and religion also brought forth the opportunity for therapists to kind of like be involved and kind of like thrive too. So what you mentioned before about how, especially in families, oh, just pray it away, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. Yes, that works, but you need a professional who is an expert in this field to kind of help you navigate through certain things that's been going on in your life. Trauma is a very, kind of thing that a lot of people, especially in the minority community, has experienced, whether it's childhood trauma, adolescent trauma, or even in their adult life. So kind of moving through that, people need assistance and kind of like a third party to help them answer anything that's been unanswered that they just haven't gotten.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Again, I feel like sometimes we have these discussions, and I can say it all day, but when Catherine, the professional, says it, it really clicks. It's like, okay, I can still have my faith and a therapist, and yes, it's so, it's so fulfilling for people who do have a spiritual connection to do both. You can have both. To close out, is there anything that you would say to that person who is struggling a little bit? Sometimes, it depends on what it could be, family issues. Sometimes summertime brings it on for some people. Different, times of the year bring it on. What would you say to that person who's struggling a little bit but has not gotten a therapist yet?
I would definitely say that everybody has a decision to make. And when I say that, if you are questioning whether or not seeking a therapist or speaking to someone is the appropriate path for you, you can definitely decide to try it out and see how you feel and allow yourself the opportunity to ask a professional any questions you may have regarding any hesitation or restrictions you have from receiving this type of treatment. A lot of times, especially what I've seen in my clients, a lot of them come into a setting too afraid because they can't foresee how the conversation is going to go. And that means that if you can't foresee something, I can't control it. So if I can't control it, I'm afraid of it. When it doesn't have to be that. I'm a person just like you're a person. So please ask all the questions that you have, and maybe we can make this space comfortable for you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure to meet you as well, Keisha.
All right. All right, guys, there is something that we can do. We can find a good therapist. Mental health is so critically important. It is as important as your physical health. Just like you go to the doctor, sometimes you may need to go see the therapist. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this week's episode of Focus Atlanta. I hope to see you next Sunday here on WUVA.